Welcome back to DSP 94.5, your home for jazz. Next up today, we have a new cut off an album from some local musicians here, Graham and Ashkahn, so we'll let them take it away.
All right. Hey, everybody. Graham and Ashkahn here.
Welcome to another episode. It's like these things just come out every day or something, you know?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, I am Graham.
And I am Ashkahn.
And today's question is, what's the best position to float in?
Easy handstand.
The easy handstand? Yeah, I agree. So I would say there's not a best position.
Yeah, except for the one, which we'll reveal at the end of this episode.
At the end of our entire podcast series. So keep listening, if you want to find out.
It'll be there. A little surprise.
But no, right? There isn't, just like there's no right way to float in general, I'd say there's no right position for your body inside the float tank.
Yeah, and I switch up positions all the time.
Yeah, in fact, I make it a point to never use the same position twice.
Like two fingers together in the left hand. Well, so the interesting thing about positions is it kind of changes the center of gravity on your body in there. So it's not just like, oh, it's comfortable for my arm to be this way. It's like as you move limbs and stuff around into different places, you're shifting kind of like how your body sits in the float tank.
What's the and stuff in that scenario?
Hair.
Okay,
Swish your hair from one side to the other.
I'll allow it.
So, there's like arms down by your side.
Yep.
And then if I were to have a default position, it'd be arms up by my side.
And I think a lot of people that is actually what ends up being their default position.
That's like the most common position, the most time that I'm in a single position in a tank is that arms up by my side for me.
Yeah. And weirdly, I'll spend a decent amount of a lot of my floats with my legs crossed.
Another common one for me is legs crossed and arms crossed. I'll get into this
arms
vampire.
Crossed, like front of your chest kind of thing?
As opposed to behind my back?
Yeah.
I'll do that sometimes too, actually.
Because I do arms crossed behind my back for a little bit too.
Yeah, and then sometimes you'll put your finger down, you'll just lightly touch the bottom, and you can move your whole body around, rotating on one finger.
Don't use the words you when you're describing that. Can you just say I?
Generally. This is the thing I think people do.
The universal you, huh?
Anyway, it's fun. You should try it.
You're like reading John Lilly's books. Just him taking personal experience and extrapolating to the masses.
Well, so before we go in, let's talk for a second about arms up, because I think it's super common.
Yeah.
I just feel like
when you say let's, if you could just say I'm going to talk about it, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about us talking about arms up. I find that it's first of all, it's really hard for me to not do these positions physically right now as I'm talking about this.
He's just doing all of them, even though it doesn't matter. I get a nice visual, though. I know exactly what he's talking about.
With your arms up, I feel like it just kind of arches your neck a little bit less, and I just feel like my whole shoulders up. My shoulders feel a little bit in a nicer spot. My neck feels in a nicer spot. My head feels in a nicer spot when my arms are up as opposed to down. And so I think my guess is that's the reason why so many people like that position. It kind of just takes the very upper part of your body and makes it a little bit more in a comfortable position in there with the buoyancy.
And so many of our daily activities as human beings now do the opposite, right? They curl our neck forward, they kind of hunch our backs over. It's not like when we're talking about posture positions for Americans. It's because so many people are just leaning back so far with their neck just kind of tilted up towards the sky, and that's how they're going through the day. It's because we're hunched over computers and we're hunched over books, and a lot of our culture involves hunching. So I think it does feel really good to have those arms up and just kind of expand out both your chest and your back.
Yeah.
Makes me want to hop in a float tank right now, actually.
I wonder if ornithologists really like having their arms down, getting that contrast.
Even because they're busy flapping through the sky all day long?
Yeah, pretty sure that's what they do.
Oh, just looking up at trees is what you meant.
Yeah,
I understand.
That's what I meant.
Good one.
All right, so we can go back. We can go back to what you were saying now.
Yeah, legs crossed.
Legs crossed,
arms behind
arms
the back.
crossed.
Sometimes it's really nice.
Arms and I don't know why I like arms in front of it. Like it just like tucks everything in.
And when you say arms in front, do you mean on the stomach or like on the front of your chest?
I'll do on the stomach's nice, like fingers crossed on the stomach, kind of right above the belly button.
That's my starting position.
That's how you start.
Well, so I get
you have a starting. You're like you just know when you get in the
Ready?
float tank. You're gonna
Set.
go.
Arms on stomach, float. Well, so here's the deal. I like to keep my hands out of the salt water for about the first 2 minutes that I'm in the
Really?
float tank, just in case I have like an extra drip of water coming down or I get a random itch. Like I don't want to have to deal with like drying my hands off of salt water for that little bit.
Oh, interesting.
So when I first get in, like I settle back into the water, and without ever having gotten my hands salty, I put them carefully onto my stomach and kind of cross the fingers, like interlace the fingers, because then even my fingers, although they're resting on a little bit of a salty stomach, just rest on my non-salty hands, and then if I have an itch, I can do it. And then after about 2 minutes, I'm like, okay, good, it's safe, and I kind of take the next position. Yeah.
I just dive in I'm ready to go.
Yeah, just full body,
face
first.
head dive. Well, no, first thing I do is usually take water and like splash it up over my chest. Really, because your whole top of your body's
So
not
we were
wet.
wrong when we said this. There are right and wrong ways to float. For example, I think mine is very logical, and maybe the right way to float
No,
is just going in and splashing yourself
not like
with salt water.
splash,
Seems
but
maybe,
you
that's what
you
said, for the
pull
record.
water over the front half of your body so that it gets all nice and warm. Like otherwise, your whole top half is kind of like chilled and not wet. And I like feeling like I have a little bit of submersion.
You can't tell, but our audio engineer is also just shaking his head vigorously.
Well, they're
left
both
and
wrong.
right.
You guys are both wrong. Like you get that full. You're saying your stomach just like never gets wet the entire time.
No, I'm just saying I don't go out of my way to get it wet.
Yeah,
right?
I do a full splash all the way. Get a nice
Do you
coating.
do the same for like your face?
Not my face. I don't splash my face, but I get a coating on the rest of my body. That's
All right,
an important.
That's
That's how I start.
We're learning a lot about each other here. Actually, so here's the thing. There is absolutely no right position. Not only that, I don't think that there's even a right position for a single person or a single float. Like mine change float to float. If we talk to our regular members,
Yeah, it's just
they
whatever
like
feel
trying
like
out
it.
different positions.
You stretch in there. There's a lot of positions for like stretch it. Like I put both knees to one side or the other in it. Does a nice stretch on the back.
Yeah. So play around, figure out what you like, and don't feel like you always have to go in there and do the same thing. Just kind of let whatever feels right at the time kind of be the way that you float,
I mean, I do weird things in there sometimes, like full on like spinning karate kick sort of things. Like I'll like hunch my legs and arms up and I'll like try to kick off the side and see if I can do a full spin without hitting the side. You do that? You guys do that?
I kind of mermaid in there.
Mermaid?
Yeah, like I'll get your hands kind of above your head and sort of like shimmy back and forth like with your legs together,
Like
and
a
it really
concert,
like
sort of?
the ripples that it sends out, like almost like a hula dancing, but with your hands up above your head.
Yeah.
And then you stop for a second, and that like just creates such cool
Yeah,
little
yeah,
ripples.
yeah.
You can just kind of feel them going like wah 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 wah.
I do that the
all
other
around
way.
you.
I do that lengthwise. I'll like push back and forth and I'll feel like a wave just go
you're flopping your like hands and legs.
I'm
up
not
and down,
flopping. I'm
or-
using my whole body to like go back and forth in the tank, and then I'll stop and I'll feel a wave start at my feet and just go like all the way up
Yep,
my body.
Yeah, I see. Just like pushing your body back and forth vertically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I used to
like
do
a
that
wave
in- I
machine,
used
like
to
a
do that in
human
tub.
wave machine.
Yeah, exactly. That was a common tub activity for me as a child. until I just like half the tub water was out in the bathroom and my parents got mad at me.
Some other honorable mentions. People do stomach down floats, which you can do with like a pool noodle or something like that to support you, even sometimes with your arms. Or you can actually have a full-on snorkel and do face down floats,
Which is pretty intense.
which I've heard good things about, though. Like once
Yeah,
you
but
get
if you
used
get
to
the
it,
salt water in the snorkel.
oh, for sure. Yeah. There's dangers associated with it. Just the general Superman, laying on your back, but with your arms outstretched above you, feet kind of down below, like actually full on above you as opposed to just elbows at a 90-degree angle out by your side.
Yeah. Breakdancing. Doing like, spins in there and
Oh, sick moves. Yes,
Sick
totally.
moves,
Yeah, sick
yeah.
moves in the tank. That's definitely a thing. Play around, have fun. If we didn't name your favorite float position, feel free to send it off to us and we'll give it another honorable mention on a different episode.
uh-huh.
And if you have your own questions, don't hesitate. Take advantage of it now. Go to floatanksolutions.com/podcast.
We're watching you.
We're really creepy, and if you want us to stop watching you, just send us in a little submission via
Yeah,
that
we'll
form.
leave you alone after that.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Right.